सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Amrita. Today is one of my favorite episodes, the Bhagavad Gita. Until our previous episodes, we saw how the war began and how Arjuna was reluctant, but here comes the best part of the entire Mahabharat. I think the best part of the Hindu mythology. Bhagavad Gita is considered to be in equal power as the Upanishads. Upanishads are derived from the Vedas, and Bhagavad Gita is considered to have equal importance as the Upanishads. But before we carry on with today's video, please do subscribe to my channel and press the bell button so that you get notified every time I post a video. Also, follow me on Instagram. I'll leave my handle down in the description box below. The Bhagavad Gita is said to be the advice or the jnana that Lord Krishna gave to Arjuna. The war is supposed to happen, it's going to start anytime now. Krishna is Arjuna's charioteer. Arjuna asks Krishna to take his chariot and place it in the middle of the army between the Pandavas and Kauravas so that he gets a view of his opponents. Krishna does that. Arjuna sees his entire family, his kith and kin, his relatives, his gurus, acharyas, grandfathers, uncles, everybody against him who he has to kill in order to win this war. It breaks his heart. He is heartbroken. He feels very, very sad and scared to kill his entire family. So he decides to back off and decides to step away from the war and not kill his entire family. Now Krishna advises Arjuna, which in turn becomes the Bhagavad Gita. In the middle of the war field, while the war is going to begin, at the end point, why does Krishna has to advise there? Why did the Lord choose that particular point in Arjuna's life to give him the great advice? This is not just the advice that is given to Arjuna by Krishna, but it is a guidebook, a rule book, a set of principles that every human being can follow in order to lead a proper and a very, very sincere, honest life. So our life is as good as a war field. In Kali Yuga, of course, we do not have monarchy where we are fighting against each other, or of course, we do not have great wars, or not everybody is a warrior, but everybody is a warrior of their own life. We need not fight battles between two parties to take place to participate in a war. Our life itself is a war. Every day we deal with problems. Every day we have to deal with our day-to-day issues, which is our war field, which makes us warriors. So when a person realizes that every stage of life he has to face is as good as a war, he would definitely follow all the principles. And life itself is a war. It itself is full of struggles. For every minute that you're happy, I think a lot of minutes you're sad. Happiness passes away within seconds. Once you feel happy, okay, fine, you're happy for 5 minutes, you jump, you enjoy the moment, and it's done. But when a sadness hits you, when something bad happens, the effect that sadness has on you is extremely humongous as compared to the effect that happiness has on you. So which in turn proves that life itself is a war. You are struggling every day. You have to keep fighting against life to lead this human life. In order to show the importance of the struggle that a person goes through every single day, Krishna has chosen the war field itself, representing the war field to be our lives, so that we take on these principles, follow them, and lead a very righteous life. The Bhagavad Gita consists of 18 chapters in total with more than over 700 shlokas. Of course, it's very difficult to explain each and every single shloka. Each and every shloka has an in-depth meaning has a lot of meanings to it. A lot of people can understand and interpret and perceive it in different ways and different meanings. So it is highly impossible to explain all the shlokas. So in this video, I'm just going to give an overview of the entire Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita says a man can lead his life using three principles. Any one of the three principles. Karma Yoga, Myana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Karma Yoga, the word karma means duty. So in Karma Yoga, all you have to do is perform your duty, the duty that is assigned to you in this human world, with full dedication, with full hard work, sincerity, and expect nothing in return. Once you do something with an expectation, it doesn't come under Karma Yoga. Of course, it's not very easy, and these principles cannot be followed immediately, overnight, on a day-to-day basis. But at least we can try to follow them. We can try to indulge certain principles, certain things into our daily life to have a growth of the soul. Ultimately, the soul's aim is to attain moksha, to be free from this cycle of rebirth. In order to attain that, I think this is the only way. If you don't follow it now, you will have to follow it some other day. By some other day, I mean with some other janma, with some other birth, maybe with some other life, if you do not follow it here. So it is better that we start following little basic little steps. Take baby steps, do as little as possible. Probably we'll reach that yogi jnana stage one day. Probably we will reach that yogi stage one day. But only baby steps leads to that stage, right? Karma Yoga, coming back to Karma Yoga, it says one should perform his duties rightfully, not expecting anything in return, just following his duty, just following what he has to do very, very sincerely, and the rest will be taken care by the Lord. Myana Yoga, Jnana means knowledge. So Myana Yoga says that you should have the knowledge of the highest supreme power, of the ultimate supreme Lord. Once you get the knowledge of the Lord and you have knowledge of every single thing that is right, you can attain moksha. Bhakti Yoga, which suggests bhakti, we all know is devotion. So once you devoted to the Lord and surrender yourself completely to the Lord, perform your duties, I think He will take care of the rest. The Bhagavad Gita clearly specifies and mentions that the soul is indestructible by any means. Only the body dies, but the soul has no death. The soul cannot die. Nothing can affect the soul. The body is just a dress for the soul. As we change our clothes every day, the soul changes the body and keeps going to another body. Ultimately, the destination is the Paramatma. This Jivatma travels a long way, gains all knowledge, surrenders to the Paramatma, only to go and attain and be a part of the ultimate Paramatma. Of course, the Bhagavad Gita is simply elaborate, with each and every shloka having so many meanings, so many forms of examples and principles that we can use in our daily lives. In the 11th chapter, it is called Vishwaroo Yoga, in which the Lord takes his original Vishwaroopa Darshana, takes his original complete form to show Arjuna that he is the true Lord. Now, the question is, who recorded the Bhagavad Gita? The Lord told Arjuna, listen, but who was the one who recorded it? Every time the Lord incarnates in this earth, a very divine sage also accompanies him, so as to watch all the activities of the Lord keenly, observe it and record it for the future generations to pursue this. In Ramayana, we know Valmiki was the sage. In Mahabharat, Vedavyasa was the Devarishi. There was no gap or no difference or no space between the Lord and Vyasa. Whatever was happening there, Vyasa could see it, feel it, and he immediately recorded it. Here, the witness to the Bhagavad Gita is Vyasa and Sanjaya. Before the war started, Sanjaya was a minister in the cabinet of Hastinapur. King Dhritarashtra wanted to be aware of all the happenings of the war. So Vedavyasa blessed Sanjaya with a divine vision where he could see what and all was happening in the war field of Kurukshetra, and he would narrate it to the king. So now the Bhagavad Gita, whichever Krishna told, directly Arjuna got the entire knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita directly from the Lord. Vyasa could hear everything and every movement that was happening here, and he recorded it for the future generations. Sanjaya merely recited all the shlokas and all that was happening there to the king, and the king did not have any kind of maturity or the understanding to actually understand the concept of the Bhagavad Gita, and that's how it was recited. I start all my videos with one shloka, right? Sarvadharman parityajna mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papibhyo mokshayishyami masacha. It means perform all your duties righteously with full dedication and leave everything to me. I will make sure that I take away all your sins. Do not worry. This is the literal translation of that shloka into English. This shloka appears in the 18th chapter, 66th shloka of the Bhagavad Gita. I try to follow it as much as possible. It is very, very close to my heart, which is why I make sure I say that before I start telling you guys the story. In this very short video, I don't think we can cover even 1% of what the Bhagavad Gita actually says. I would love to do an entire series of the Bhagavad Gita shlokas for you guys if you would like to watch it. Please let me know in the comments if you want an elaborate and an explanatory video where I explain each and every chapter in one video probably. I would love to do it, and I think from our next video we'll continue with how the 18 days of the war began. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and do share it with all your friends. This knowledge is definitely shareable, and I hope it reaches a lot of people. Not just as a YouTuber for my views, but actually, I hope it would really help all of you in changing your lives in a better way. Well, I'll see you again next time. Until I see you again next time, be good, do good always. Thank you. Bye.